Hey everyone, today's video is about when you play 7 minutes in heaven with Bakugou Katsuki. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Let's get going. Bago was not one for parties, and the fact that he was currently cooped up in the corner in the midst of one baffled everyone, even himself. He hated himself for coming, but he knew deep down that he would have hated himself even more if he didn't. In the middle of the room stood Wyan, holding a wild conversation with Gershom about something that was most likely not. He shot up to his party for her, just to see her smile. Her smile was what was keeping him going tonight, and the realization of that disgusted him. He was absolutely smitten and utterly in denial. Baga wondered how long this conversation was going to hold up for. It wasn't as if he had been talking to her in the first place. He just hated the way Kursima was. He could feel Midoriya looking at him from the opposite side of the room, probably wondering why he even showed up if he was going to sit in the corner, scowl, and play with the small flames on his fingertips. He figured if he wanted her attention, he could just plop himself in the middle of the conversation anytime he wanted to. Although Kurishima could read him like an open book, and no matter how Daniel Bago was off his evident liking to Wyan, Kurishima knew otherwise. He would be outed, so it was safer in the corner. Although, despite his attempts at staying passive, Kurishima shot him glances every often, smirked, then turned right back to Wyan. It made Bago hatch. After a while, their conversation conjured into bubbly whispering, Kurishima leaning in and saying things that made the lingering smile on her face linger longer. He knew that Kurishima wouldn't flirt with her. He wasn't being very goodish in the first place, and hitting on a girl his friend fancied would go against his so-called bro code. All arrows lead to them gossiping about him, and that was the little motivation he needed to explode. He pushed himself off the wall and brushed off his jeans, grabbing the attention of Ashita and Kaminari. Kurishima saw him coming. There was no way he could have not. He had been staring at him almost the entire time he was at the party. Bago caught Kurshima's eye, and the latter all but smirked. Bakugo, it's about time. The latter shuffled towards him, gleefully, slapping him on the back. Whatever. Bago muttered in reply. He pondered asking what was all the stirring about, but he figured Kushima was ready with an answer. A few feet away, Maya stood awkwardly, fiddling with her rat solo cup, eyeing its contents as if it were the most interesting thing occurring at a party. He could go and ask Wyan what was in her cup, wish her a happy birthday without being aggressive. He could compliment her, even. He couldn't bring himself to do it, though, although she must have been thinking the same thing, because suddenly she crushed the cup in her hand and looked up towards him. She winked, then waved him over. He felt his heart skip beat and he scowled, but willingly slumped over anyway. Kirishima started to follow him, much to his demands, and Ashida was making her way up behind Ryan. He knew all the odds of this situation was going to be against his favor. When Ashida slinged her arms around Ryan's shoulders, she made an evident sound of displeasure. She looked up at him, quick, her brows furrowed in disappointment, and suddenly she was tugged away by Ashida. Bago huffed, obvious to the way Ashida and Kirishima were mouthing things to each other across the room. Who wants to play a game? Kaminari shouted out suddenly, the feedback through the speakers almost making it impossible to hear what he said in the first place. A few people groaned, like Ira and Tokiyami, who immediately turned away from the DJ table without hearing the end of it. Bago would have to, if he knew Ryan wasn't involved. He knew she was, though. She had to be, since all his friends had been chatting her up the whole night. We're gonna be playing 7 minutes in heaven in the den in, like, 10 minutes. Come if you're not a coward. With that, Kaminari hopped up the stage, dropping the mic and himself on the floor, which caused a loud, static noise of pressure, and Kaminari fainted. I'm okay. Bago was not going to play a game meant for 12 years old. He would die before he gave in to a clutch game like this. Although Kurshima found him in the crowd somehow, leaving a smile on his face. He knew he was in for a long night now. You gonna play? Kurshima asked, only for Bago to scowl and reply. The hell am I? 12. Just because you play doesn't mean you have to kiss anyone. You could be shopped and with Sarah or something, and just play around for 7 minutes. Kurshima shrugged. I don't know. I'm playing. I think you should. It's not like anyone wants to kiss you anyways. Excuse me. I know what you're trying to do. Shark Week. It's not working. Fine. Whatever. Still think you should play. Though wine is. Who cares if wine is playing? What if she picks you? Bago knew for a fact that his face was flushed up. He didn't need to see himself to prove that. Bago swore he would kill himself. If you don't want me to play that bad, fine, I will. It's only because I don't care enough to fight you right now. I'm saving my energy for things better. Yeah, like kissing Ryan. Die. Bag only started regretting joining the game when Sarah, Kirishima, and Kaminari were all forcing his bag inside the closet. He thought maybe, just maybe he wouldn't be cursed more than he already was when he sat down to the closet. If he wasn't paired up with Ryan, he might just be paired up with one of his friends. Maybe even someone he tolerated. Takayami, Koda, and Shoji were forced to play somehow, and being thrown in there with one of them meant 7 minutes of silence and small talk, something he could bear. What he was not prepared for was being thrown in with Midoriya, who was sitting in the closet and laughing. Eventually, Kurishima booted him inside, summoned the door, and locking it without a word. I know you hate this, but please don't kill me. Midoriya chuckled, placing his hands out in front of him. Not planning on that. Leave me alone. Nobody spoke another word for about 5 minutes, about keeping the dimly lit room brighter with the spark of his palm. Hey, Katon. What? You like Ryan, don't you? Didn't I tell you to leave me alone? He barked, and the spark in his hand grew to be a flame, which he put out in an instant after he realized what he had done. I know, but Midori paused for a minute. I think you should tell her how you feel. Since when were you a shrink, Deku? He hissed, but not violently as he would on most days. Midori shrugged. This is distant. This was terrible. He said, after Kirishima opened the door, raising himself as if he had expected the closet to be in ruins. The basket with everyone's items was passed around the circle, Mineta being placed with Momo, who quit before Mineta could even get a word in. Tokiyami got thrown in somehow, complaining how he couldn't even kiss in the first place, so the whole ordeal was pointless. It had taken an hour before the circle had come around to him again. He was almost terrified to stick his hand in. He did, nonetheless. His stomach gnawed, because he knew this was the last time he would go, and another awkward situation with Noria was not something he needed right now. He fumbled around for a moment, Kurishima nudging him in the knee and begging him to please pick one already, dude. He then came across something solid, cold, and without thinking further, he tugged it out of the bag. It was a gift. Bago was a bit shocked, especially since everyone else's items seemed to be hair clips or cell phone charms. Who the hell carries fancy ass rocks in their pockets to parties? He inquired, eyebrows furrowed as he ran his thumb across the jagged purple edges. He figured it was pretty, though. If the person he got paired up was nice enough, he figured he might ask to keep it. Hey, that would be me. Bagu looked up from the god to see Wayan, rising to her feet, stumbling a bit awkwardly and trying to hide her embarrassment. They're called growls, by the way, not fancy ass rocks. Oh, that was all Bag was able to say before pocketing the thing and rising to his feet as well. You suck. He had managed now to curse him out before scuttling into the closet, ignoring the way Ashton and Sarah were making kissy faces behind him. Wine was next to come, pressing her back up against the wall and nodding towards Kirishima. He smirked at the both of them, made a kissy face himself, then slammed the door. The two stood in silence, Bag afraid to even set off a light again. Wine shuffled every so often, and when her legs brushed up against his, she'd keep it quiet. Sorry, before pressing herself against the wall again. I like your look. Baga said, suddenly through his silence. Thanks, I have a ton. You can keep it if you want. Oh, thanks, and happy birthday. He muttered, patting his pocket to make sure it was still in there. No problems, and thank you. A silence fell across them again, and Baga could feel the mist ticking by. Hey, Ryan. Hmm? Can I kiss you? Ryan fell silent. Baga sighed, knowing he had screwed up again. He wasn't too deep to realize his feelings could never be mutual. He was embarrassed. Very. And he was praying Kirishima would just open the door already. Sorry, that was stupid of me. You don't have to do anything. I never said I want to kiss you, Katsuki. She muttered, grabbing his hand out of his pocket. I'm down if you're down. Bago didn't miss the way she stumbled over her words or the way her hand shook around his. All he could do was smile. He let his hand fall from hers and let a spark arise. The shadow flicking across her face and revealing a startled blush. Cute. He muttered before taking her cheek in his other hand and pressing his lips against hers. She was frozen, so he backed out for a moment, watching to see if she was okay before diving back in. She kissed back this time, awkward at first to see where her hands would go before warming up to it all. I'm surprised you're not a rough kisser. It's only 'cause I like you, idiot. Baga pressed soft kisses to her neck. I. She paused for a moment, waiting for Baga to stop kissing. That's her in place on her neck, until she tugged him back by his collar. He looked at her confused. He figured maybe she didn't reciprocate his feelings, but that thought had been thrown out the window the moment she kissed him back. I like you too. Like, a lot. Why'd you pull me away then? 'Cause I wanted to say that to your face. That's sappy as hell. Why not? We're playing Seven Months in Heaven, dude. Doesn't get sappier than that. There was a sudden knock on the door before it swung open. Kirsia peeking inside to see the two of them pressed up against their separate walls once more. Although both red in the face. I see you two had fun. Shut it. Baga had shot. One last look before pushing past the door and breaking away from the circle. Lion had done the same, following right behind him. It made him a bit happy that she had chosen to do so. Hey, Katsuki. Hmm. I don't know if it was made clear already or anything, but do you want to go out with me? Do I want to go out with you? Baga shook his head, grabbing her shoulders and pulling her down. Oh. He smiled, and without even thinking, he kissed her cheek. More than anything. Good, because soft Katsuki is the best Katsuki, in my opinion. I can get used to this. Oh, shut it. Make me. With that, Baga looked around him, making sure everyone was still occupied in their stupid little party game, and kissed her again. He figured that maybe, just maybe, parties weren't so bad, after all. Right? And this is how I met your father, kids. Yes, at a party, we kissed each other. Okay, thank you guys for listening. Hope you liked the video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Goodbye.